25 black actors with the most tragic deaths. Some legends don't just entertain, they change history. You won't believe how many iconic black actors quietly transformed Hollywood forever, only to fade into the shadows of memory. They broke barriers, redefined culture, and gave us performances that still echo through time. Yet their names barely make today's headlines. Have you ever wondered why some stars are immortalized while others are forgotten? In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on the heartbreaking fates and hidden struggles of Hollywood's most unforgettable black icons. From untold stories to shocking truths the industry tried to bury, this is the side of fame you were never meant to see. So, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join us here on Hidden Black Legends as we honor the lives, legacies, and tragedies of the stars who paved the way. Number 1. Roger E. Mosley, the skybound pioneer of primetime television. Roger E. Mosley wasn't just an actor. He was a symbol of pride, professionalism, and quiet power. Born on December 8, 1938, in Los Angeles, California, Mosley built a career that spanned more than 50 years, shaping both television and film with his steady talent and integrity. Audiences around the world remember him best as Theodore T.C. Calvin, the fearless helicopter pilot and loyal friend to Tom Selleck's Thomas Magnum in Magnum P.I. 1980 to 1988. Mosley's portrayal of T.C. wasn't just entertaining, it was groundbreaking. In an era when black characters were often sidelined or stereotyped, he brought dignity, humor, and humanity to the role. T.C. wasn't a sidekick. He was a hero in his own right, confident, capable, and deeply loved by fans. But Mosley's contributions went far beyond Magnum P.I. He left his mark across television classics like Sanford & Son, Starsky & Hutch, and Kojak, while also taking powerful roles in films such as The Mac and Leadbelly. His versatility and range allowed him to inhabit both grit and grace, whether playing a hustler, a blues legend, or a family man. Beyond acting, Mosley also stepped behind the camera as a producer and director, proving his creative spirit knew no boundaries. Those who worked with him often spoke of his professionalism, humility, and quiet confidence, qualities that made him a respected figure in Hollywood long after the camera stopped rolling. Tragically, in 2022, Mosley's life came to an abrupt end following a devastating car accident in Linwood, California, which left him paralyzed from the shoulders down. He passed away on August 7, 2022, at the age of 83. Roger E. Mosley's passing marked the loss of a true trailblazer, a man who not only entertained millions, but also helped redefine what it meant to be a black leading man on American television. His legacy soars on, like the helicopter pilot he immortalized, forever flying high above the clouds of Hollywood history. Number 2. Whitman Mayo wasn't just an actor. He was a storyteller, a teacher, and a man whose gentle humor left an unforgettable mark on American television. Born on November 15, 1930, in Atlanta, Georgia, Mayo's journey into the spotlight began in the early 1960s. But it was the 1970s sitcom Sanford & Son that forever etched his name into pop culture history. As Grady Wilson, the lovable, slow-talking best friend of Fred Sanford, played by the legendary Red Fox, Mayo delivered more than laughs. With his signature catchphrases, expressive eyes, and perfectly timed humor, he brought heart and warmth to every scene. Audiences couldn't help but adore Grady, whose blend of innocence and wisdom made him one of television's most endearing sidekicks. But Whitman Mayo's impact reached far beyond the small screen. Deeply passionate about education, he devoted years to teaching and mentoring young actors, passing down lessons learned from his own experiences in Hollywood. His dedication to shaping future generations of performers reflected the same sincerity and depth that defined his acting. Tragically, Mayo passed away on May 22, 2001, at the age of 70 from heart failure. Yet his legacy lives on. In every rerun of Sanford & Son, in every student he inspired, and in every fan who still smiles at the mere mention of Grady. Whitman Mayo remains a symbol of warmth, wit, and wisdom, a beloved artist whose spirit continues to light up television history. Number 3. Bernie Mac, the king of real comedy. Bernie Mac wasn't just funny, he was fearless. Born Bernard Jeffrey McCullough on October 5, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois, he rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most authentic and unforgettable voices in comedy. Starting out in stand-up clubs, Bernie's sharp wit, raw storytelling, and no-nonsense delivery set him apart from the start. He didn't just tell jokes, he told truths about family, struggle, and the Black experience, all with a humor that hit hard and stayed real. His big break came with the Bernie Mac Show in 2001, where he played a fictionalized version of himself, a tough but loving uncle raising his sister's 3 kids. The series was both hilarious and heartfelt, earning critical acclaim, an Emmy nomination, and cementing Bernie's place among comedy's greats. His ability to mix laughter with life lessons made him a household name and a role model to millions. Beyond television, Bernie proved his versatility in films like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Guess Who? Whether cracking jokes or delivering heartfelt moments, his magnetic screen presence made every role unforgettable. Tragically, Bernie's brilliant career was cut short when he passed away on August 9, 2008, at just 50 years old due to complications from pneumonia. He had long battled sarcoidosis, a condition that inflamed his lungs, yet he never let illness dull his light or silence his laughter. Even in his final years, Bernie Mac remained unapologetically himself, bold, honest, and larger than life. His legacy continues to inspire a generation of comedians who still echo his famous creed. I ain't scared of you, and neither was he. Number 4. Ricky Harris, the comedic voice of the streets. Ricky Harris wasn't just funny, he was electric. Born on October 5, 1962, in Long Beach, California, he grew up with rhythm in his voice and soul in his storytelling. A gifted actor, comedian, and voice artist, Harris carved his own lane in entertainment, blending streetwise humor with genuine emotion. His comedy felt real because it was real, pulled straight from the life and culture he knew best. Audiences first noticed his magnetic charm through TV hits like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Moesha, and Everybody Hates Chris. But it was his collaborations with Snoop Dogg that cemented his status as a hip-hop comedy icon. Whether cracking jokes in music videos or lending his unmistakable voice to animated projects like The Simpsons and Snoop Dogg's The Wash, Harris brought an authenticity that few could match. His humor carried both grit and heart, making him a favorite among fans from the block to Hollywood. Behind the laughter, though, was a man deeply loved for his warmth and generosity. When news broke that Ricky Harris had passed away from a heart attack on December 26, 2016, at just 54 years old, the shock rippled through the entertainment world. Friends, fans, and fellow comedians mourned not just a performer, but a brother whose laughter had the power to heal. Ricky Harris may be gone, but his voice, his humor, and his spirit still echo through the culture he helped shape. A lasting reminder that true comedy comes from the soul. Number 5. Ron Cephas Jones, A Life of Art, Grit, and Grace. Ron Cephas Jones wasn't just an actor. He was a force of soul and storytelling. Born on January 8, 1957, in Paterson, New Jersey, Jones carved out a remarkable legacy on both stage and screen, becoming one of the most respected character actors of his generation. His journey wasn't built on flash or fame, but on quiet mastery, the kind that leaves an imprint long after the curtain falls. His breakout moment came with the role of William Hill on NBC's This Is Us, a tender, complex portrayal of a man seeking redemption and reconnection with his son. Jones brought a rare emotional honesty to the role, earning 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and the admiration of millions. Through his performance, he didn't just act. He moved people, capturing the ache of regret and the beauty of forgiveness. But before television made him a household name, Jones had already conquered the stage. A fixture in New York's vibrant theater scene, he delivered unforgettable performances in productions like Jitney and The Piano Lesson, commanding attention with his depth, rhythm, and grace. His theater roots gave his work a profound, emotional truth that few could match. Even as he battled serious health challenges, including chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and a double lung transplant in 2020, Jones refused to step away from his art. His perseverance became a testament to his spirit, performing with the same quiet fire that had defined his entire career. When he passed away on August 19, 2023, at age 66, Hollywood didn't just lose a great actor. It lost a soul who turned pain into poetry. Ron Cephas Jones will forever be remembered not only for the roles he played, but for the humanity he brought to every single one of them. Number 6. Gregory Hines, the tap dance trailblazer. Gregory Hines wasn't just a performer. He was a movement all his own. Born on February 14, 1946, in New York City, Hines grew up surrounded by rhythm and art. By the time most kids were learning to ride a bike, he was already lighting up stages alongside his brother Maurice and their father in the family act Hines and Dad. His natural rhythm, charisma, and effortless cool made it clear he was destined for greatness. As an artist, Hines transformed tap dancing into something fresh, soulful, and unmistakably his own. He fused classic tap with the smooth swing of jazz, creating a sound that was both rooted in tradition and thrillingly modern. Critics called him revolutionary. Audiences simply called him unforgettable. But Hines wasn't limited to the dance floor. His charm and talent carried him to Hollywood and Broadway, where he proved he could do it all: sing, act, and, of course, dance circles around anyone. In The Cotton Club, 1984, and White Nights, 1985, he brought tap to the big screen with electrifying style, holding his own alongside legends like Mikhail Baryshnikov. On Broadway, his performance in Jelly's Last Jam earned him a Tony Award, cementing his place among theater's elite. Tragically, Gregory Hines passed away from liver cancer on August 9, 2003, at just 57 years old. His death left a silence where once there had been music, rhythm, and joy. Yet his influence still echoes in every dancer who slides, shuffles, and improvises their way across the stage. Gregory Hines didn't just dance to the beat. He created it. His artistry redefined tap for modern audiences, and his legacy continues to inspire generations of performers who dare to make rhythm their language. Number 7. Lee Thompson-Young was one of those rare talents who seemed destined for greatness. Born on February 1, 1984, in Columbia, South Carolina, he began acting as a child and quickly captured hearts across America. His breakout role came with Disney Channel's hit series The Famous Jet Jackson, where he starred as a teen balancing two worlds, that of a regular high school student and a TV action hero. His natural charisma, warmth, and emotional depth made him an instant fan favorite and a role model for young viewers everywhere. But Young's ambitions extended far beyond his early fame. He went on to deliver strong performances in shows like Rizzoli and Isles, portraying Detective Barry Frost, a loyal, sharp-witted partner to Angie Harmon's Jane Rizzoli. His easy charm and quiet intensity on screen revealed a maturing actor with enormous range and promise. Hollywood insiders believed he was on the cusp of a long, remarkable career. Then, tragedy struck. On August 19, 2013, Lee Thompson-Young was found dead at just 29 years old. His passing ruled a suicide. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Behind his radiant smile and gentle spirit, Young had been silently battling bipolar disorder and depression. His death became a heartbreaking reminder that even those who seem to have it all could be fighting invisible battles. Fans, friends, and colleagues remembered him not only as an exceptional actor, but as a kind, humble soul whose light was gone far too soon. Lee Thompson-Young's story remains both an inspiration and a tragedy, a testament to brilliance, compassion, and the importance of mental health awareness in Hollywood and beyond. Number 8. Nelson Ellis. Nelson Ellis was a rare kind of actor. one whose performances didn't just entertain, but deeply moved those who watched him. Born on November 23, 1977, in the United States, Ellis brought a quiet fire and emotional truth to every character he played. Whether on television or film, his work radiated authenticity, drawing viewers into the souls of the people he portrayed. What made Ellis remarkable wasn't just his range, the ability to move effortlessly from drama to comedy, but the sensitivity and nuance he infused into every role. He didn't simply act. He inhabited his characters, capturing their struggles, fears, and humanity with disarming honesty. Colleagues often described him as deeply professional, kind-hearted, and the type of actor who could make even a few minutes on screen unforgettable. Throughout his career, Ellis earned widespread admiration for his versatility and commanding presence. He was equally compelling as a lead or in a supporting role, always leaving a lingering impression long after the credits rolled. Tragically, Nelson Ellis's life was cut short on October 9, 2017, at just 39 years old. His sudden passing sent shockwaves through Hollywood and among fans worldwide. Though his career was brief, his legacy endures, a testament to a man whose artistry, humility, and warmth touched countless lives. Ellis will forever be remembered as more than an actor. He was a storyteller who made the screen feel achingly human. Number 9. Chadwick Boseman was more than just an actor. He was a force of nature, a cultural icon whose artistry and integrity redefined what it meant to be a hero, both on and off the screen. Born on November 29, 1976, in Anderson, South Carolina, Boseman's journey from humble beginnings to global stardom was built on purpose, not fame. He became renowned for his transformative portrayals of real-life legends. Jackie Robinson in 42, James Brown in Get On Up, and Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. Each performance revealed not only his remarkable range, but his deep commitment to portraying Black excellence with dignity and truth. But it was his portrayal of T'Challa, the Black Panther, that cemented his place in history. Boseman didn't just play a superhero, he embodied one. His performance transcended the Marvel Universe, turning a fictional king into a real-world symbol of pride, power, and representation for millions. How often does a movie character inspire a generation to see themselves differently? Boseman had that rare gift to make fiction feel like destiny. Behind the fame, his quiet strength was even more extraordinary. While privately battling colon cancer for 4 years, he continued to create, to inspire, to give the world his best. When he passed away on August 28, 2020, at only 43 years old, the world didn't just lose an actor, it lost a beacon of hope. Chadwick Boseman's legacy goes far beyond film. He was a trailblazer who used his craft to elevate voices too often ignored, a man of grace who faced pain with courage, and a hero who reminded us all that greatness isn't defined by how long you live, but by how deeply you inspire others. His spirit lives on in every young dreamer who dares to believe they can change the world. Number 10. John Beasley. John Beasley was one of those rare actors whose presence could elevate any scene. Born on June 26, 1943, he built a career defined not by fame or flash, but by authenticity and quiet power. For decades, Beasley graced both television and film with performances that carried wisdom, warmth, and emotional truth. Audiences remember him most as John Lee on Everwood, where he delivered a portrayal so genuine it felt like watching an old friend. His deep voice and steady demeanor brought a comforting weight to the role, earning him admiration from viewers across generations. But Beasley's artistry extended far beyond the small screen. From The Color Purple to Rudy, he proved his remarkable range, moving effortlessly between soul-stirring drama and uplifting inspiration. Even in supporting roles, his gravitas made him unforgettable. Off-screen, Beasley was more than an actor. He was a mentor, a teacher, and a man devoted to helping young artists find their voices. He founded the John Beasley Theater and Workshop in Omaha, fostering a community of creativity and inclusion. His humility and professionalism made him a role model in an industry often defined by ego. When Beasley passed away on February 16, 2020, at 79, he left behind far more than a filmography. He left a legacy of integrity and inspiration. His work reminds us that true greatness doesn't always demand the spotlight. Sometimes it's found in the quiet strength of those who pour their soul into every role and touch hearts simply by being real. Number 11. Michael K. Williams wasn't just an actor. He was a force of nature whose presence demanded attention every time he appeared on screen. Born on November 22, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, Williams became one of the most distinctive and unforgettable performers of his generation. With roles that cut deep into the human experience, he brought to life characters who were complex, wounded, and achingly real. His portrayal of Omar Little in The Wire wasn't just iconic. It redefined what a television antihero could be. Fearless yet principled, dangerous yet deeply human. Omar became a symbol of contradiction and truth in a world full of moral gray. Later, Williams delivered equally mesmerizing performances in Boardwalk Empire, where he played the sharp and soulful Chalky White, and in Lovecraft Country, where he brought raw emotional depth to his role. Off-screen, Williams' impact was just as profound. He spoke openly about his struggles with addiction and the lasting scars of trauma, using his platform to advocate for compassion, mental health awareness, and second chances. His honesty made him a beacon for those wrestling with their own pain, proof that vulnerability is a form of strength. His film career was just as powerful, with standout performances in 12 Years a Slave and Inherent Vice, each infused with the authenticity and soul that defined his craft. But on September 6, 2021, the world lost Michael K. Williams far too soon, at just 54 years old. Though gone, his spirit remains. Through his characters, his advocacy, and his unflinching truth, Michael K. Williams continues to remind us that art is not just about performance. It's about humanity. Number 12. Robert Guillaume was far more than an actor. He was a force of nature whose artistry reshaped television and theater for generations. Born on November 30th, 1927, Guillaume rose from humble beginnings to become a household name through his unforgettable portrayal of Benson Du Bois on the sitcom Soap and its spin-off Benson. His performance wasn't just funny, it was groundbreaking. With razor-sharp wit, intelligence, and undeniable charm, Guillaume turned Benson into one of the first black characters on television to defy racial stereotypes, commanding respect instead of playing the punchline. But his brilliance didn't stop there. Guillaume was a powerhouse on stage, earning a Tony Award in 1979 for his performance in The Great White Hope. His voice, rich and full of wisdom, later echoed across the globe as Rafiki in Disney's The Lion King, a role that cemented his place in the hearts of millions. Whether he was on camera, on stage, or behind a microphone, Guillaume brought depth, dignity, and humanity to every role he touched. Beyond his talent, he was a symbol of perseverance and grace in an industry that too often tried to limit black performers. He proved that professionalism and excellence could coexist with boldness and authenticity. Even in his later years, he never slowed down, continuing to act well into his 80s. Robert Guillaume passed away on October 24, 2017, at the age of 89. Yet his spirit still lives on, in the laughter, the wisdom, and the groundbreaking path he carved for others to follow. His legacy reminds us that true greatness is not just about fame. It's about changing the game for everyone who comes after you. Number 13. Michael Clark Duncan was a giant in every sense of the word, in stature, in talent, and in heart. Born on December 10th, 1957, his towering 6 feet 5 inches frame made him a natural fit for roles of power and presence. But beyond the muscles and deep voice was a man who radiated warmth, humility, and soul. Duncan's breakout performance as John Coffey in The Green Mile, 1999, remains one of Hollywood's most unforgettable portrayals, a gentle giant wrongfully condemned, whose quiet compassion moved millions. The role earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and cemented his place as one of cinema's most soulful performers. Yet Duncan's range went far beyond tragedy. He brought charm and humor to comedies, strength to action films, and heart to animated favorites like Brother Bear and Kung Fu Panda. On television, he shined in guest roles and as a charismatic host, captivating audiences wherever he appeared. Off-screen, Michael was known for his kindness and generosity. He mentored young actors, inspired countless fans, and used his success to uplift others. Friends described him as a big man with an even bigger heart. Tragically, his life was cut short on September 3, 2012, at just 54 years old, following a heart attack. But his legacy lives on. In every smile he inspired, in every tear he evoked, and in every performance that reminded us what true strength looks like: compassion, authenticity, and love. Michael Clarke Duncan remains a timeless example of how a gentle spirit can leave an unforgettable mark on the world of entertainment. Number 14. Sidney Poitier, the man who changed Hollywood forever. Sidney Poitier was far more than just an actor. He was a pioneer who reshaped Hollywood and redefined what dignity and excellence looked like for Black performers. Born on February 20th, 1927, in Miami, Florida, and raised in the Bahamas, Poitier's early years were humble. As a teenager, he moved to the United States, working odd jobs before discovering his passion for acting. That discovery led him to the American Negro Theater in New York City, where his raw talent quickly set him apart. In an era when Hollywood offered little space for Black actors, Poitier broke through every barrier in his path. His rise culminated in 1963 when he made history as the first African-American to win the Academy Award for Best Actor for Lilies of the Field. But it wasn't just the award that defined him. It was the way he chose his roles. Poitier refused to play stereotypes, portraying men of intelligence, moral strength, and quiet resilience. Through films like A Raisin in the Sun, In the Heat of the Night, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, he challenged Hollywood's norms and gave audiences a new image of Black excellence. Off-screen, Poitier lived with the same integrity he brought to his roles. He was a devoted civil rights advocate, using his fame to push for equality and justice. Later in life, he served as the Bahamian ambassador to Japan, continuing his lifelong mission of service and leadership. When Sidney Poitier passed away on January 6, 2022, at the age of 94, the world lost more than an icon. It lost a man whose life proved that grace, principle, and courage could transform not only a career, but an entire culture. His legacy reminds us that greatness is not measured by fame or fortune, but by the doors we open and the hearts we inspire. Number 15. Richard Roundtree wasn't just an actor. He was a revolution in motion. Born on July 9, 1942, in New Rochelle, New York, Roundtree began his journey in modeling and theater before stepping into the world of film. Everything changed in 1971 when he brought John Shaft to life in the groundbreaking film Shaft. Overnight, Roundtree became an international sensation, embodying a new kind of Black hero, confident, stylish, and unapologetically powerful. Before Shaft, Hollywood rarely allowed Black men to lead with such swagger and self-assurance. But Roundtree shattered that mold. His performance didn't just entertain audiences, it electrified them. The film became a cultural lightning bolt, sparking the rise of the Blaxploitation era and influencing everything from fashion and music to how Black masculinity was portrayed on screen. He didn't just play Shaft, he was Shaft, one critic wrote. Cool, fearless, and proud. Beyond that iconic role, Roundtree continued to prove his range and dedication to his craft with performances in The Color Purple, 1985, Blue Hill Avenue, 2001, and countless television appearances. Whether on film or TV, he brought dignity and strength to every character. Off-screen, Roundtree was just as impactful, a vocal advocate for diversity and authentic representation in Hollywood. He used his fame to open doors for others, encouraging the next generation of Black actors to dream bigger and stand taller. When Richard Roundtree passed away in October 2023 at the age of 81, Hollywood didn't just lose a star, it lost a pioneer. His legacy lives on in every strong, self-assured black man who takes center stage, proving that confidence, class, and courage never go out of style. Number 16. Harry Belafonte wasn't just a singer or actor, he was a movement. Born on March 1st, 1927, in Harlem, New York, and raised between the U.S. and Jamaica, Belafonte absorbed the rhythms, struggles, and stories of two worlds. That cultural blend became the heartbeat of his artistry. In the 1950s, he skyrocketed to fame with his infectious calypso sound, turning Deo, the Banana Boat song, into a global anthem. Practically overnight, he became the first black entertainer to reach such international stardom, breaking barriers not just in music, but in how the world viewed black performers. But Harry Belafonte's legacy reached far beyond the stage and screen. He used his fame as a weapon for justice. A close friend and confidant of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Belafonte financed civil rights marches, organized rallies, and fought relentlessly for racial equality and humanitarian causes across the globe. He helped spearhead the iconic 1985 charity anthem, "We Are the World," using music to unite humanity in compassion and hope. On screen, Belafonte shattered Hollywood's color barriers with films like Carmen Jones, 1954, and Island in the Sun, 1957, portraying complex, dignified black characters during a time when such roles were almost unheard of. His artistry and activism intertwined, proving that stardom could serve a higher purpose. Harry Belafonte lived 96 years of fearless creativity, integrity, and activism. When he passed in April 2023, he left behind not just timeless songs and groundbreaking films, but a blueprint for how art can change the world. His voice may be gone, but his call for equality and justice still echoes through every generation that follows. Number 17. Kyle Jean-Baptiste. Kyle Jean-Baptiste's life was a dazzling burst of brilliance that ended far too soon. Born on December 3rd, 1993, in Brooklyn, New York, he grew up surrounded by the rhythms of the city and a deep love for music and theater. From his earliest school performances to community stages, Kyle's talent was undeniable. In 2015, he made Broadway history, becoming both the youngest actor and the first African-American to play Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. That night, the lights of Broadway didn't just shine on him. They shone because of him. His performance was a revelation. Critics and audiences were captivated by his powerful baritone, emotional vulnerability, and commanding presence. Many believed they were witnessing the rise of a new Broadway great. But beyond the applause, Kyle was remembered for his warmth and humility. He often returned to mentor young performers, reminding them that dreams are possible with discipline and heart. Then, tragedy struck. On August 29, 2015, at only 21 years old, Kyle's promising life was cut short after a tragic accidental fall from a fire escape. His death sent shockwaves through the theater community. Yet even in his absence, his legacy lives on, as a symbol of youthful brilliance, representation, and courage. Kyle Jean-Baptiste proved that greatness isn't measured by time, but by impact. In just one breathtaking act, he broke barriers, changed lives, and reminded the world that when talent meets purpose, even a brief life can leave an eternal mark. Number 18. Moses J. Mosley, a bright light gone too soon. Moses J. Mosley's life, though tragically short, continues to shine through the hearts of those he inspired. Born in 1991, Moses was a brilliant mind with a boundless curiosity about the world around him. Even as a child, he had a natural gift for problem-solving and creative thinking, traits that made him stand out not just in the classroom, but in every room he entered. His sharp intellect was matched only by his compassion. Moses had a deep love for mentoring others, often volunteering his time to help younger peers navigate challenges and dream bigger. As he stepped into adulthood, it became clear that Moses was only beginning to tap into his full potential. He poured his energy into personal projects and professional ambitions with the same passion that defined his character. Friends and family describe him as a force of positivity, someone whose presence could instantly lift the mood of a room. Even when faced with life's hardships, Moses remained resilient, kind, and full of faith in what could be. In 2022, the world lost Moses at just 31 years old, a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile life can be. Yet his legacy endures. His story calls us to cherish every moment, to nurture our gifts, and to use them to uplift others. The mark he left wasn't measured by the length of his years, but by the depth of his spirit and the love he shared. Through the lives he touched and the inspiration he sparked, Moses J. Mosley's light continues to burn brightly, proof that true influence never fades, even when the life behind it ends too soon. Number 19. Paul Winfield was an extraordinary actor whose commanding presence and emotional depth made him one of Hollywood's most respected talents. Born in 1939 in Los Angeles, he discovered his love for performance early in life and transformed that passion into a career that spanned more than 40 years. Throughout those decades, Winfield brought authenticity, grace, and quiet power to every character he portrayed, on stage, on television, and on the silver screen. His breakout performance in Sounder earned him an Academy Award nomination and cemented his reputation as a force of nature capable of expressing the full range of human experience. Whether playing dignified fathers, conflicted heroes, or flawed men seeking redemption, Winfield infused each role with an unmistakable humanity that resonated with audiences. Beyond his performances, colleagues admired his professionalism and his willingness to mentor younger actors. He wasn't just an artist. He was a teacher, a leader, and a fierce advocate for inclusion. At a time when meaningful roles for Black actors were rare, Winfield challenged Hollywood to do better, using his platform to push for diversity, dignity, and equality in storytelling. Despite the personal and professional challenges he faced, Winfield's dedication to his craft never wavered. When he passed away in 2004 at the age of 64, he left behind not just a remarkable filmography, but a legacy of integrity and perseverance. To this day, Paul Winfield's work stands as a powerful reminder that true greatness in art comes from truth, courage, and heart. Number 20. John Witherspoon wasn't just funny, he was unforgettable. Born in 1942 in Detroit, Michigan, he grew up with a natural gift for making people laugh. From the moment he hit the stage, his sharp wit, booming voice, and perfect comedic timing set him apart from the crowd. Over the decades, John Witherspoon became a cornerstone of African-American comedy, lighting up both film and television screens with performances that mixed laughter, heart, and soul. To millions, he'll always be Pops, the hilarious, wise, and outspoken father figure from the Friday film series. Every line he delivered carried that one-of-a-kind Witherspoon energy, unpredictable, genuine, and full of life. But behind the jokes was an actor of real depth, capable of turning humor into something deeply human. That ability to blend comedy with emotion made him more than just a funny man. It made him a storyteller audiences could relate to. Beyond his own fame, Witherspoon devoted much of his life to uplifting others. He mentored younger comedians, supported projects celebrating Black culture, and helped shape the next generation of entertainers who saw him as both a legend and a teacher. When John Witherspoon passed away in 2019 at the age of 77, the world lost a giant of comedy, but his laughter still echoes. His legacy reminds us that humor isn't just about jokes. It's about connection, truth, and the power to bring people together through joy. Number 21. Robin Harris wasn't just funny. He was unforgettable. Born in 1953 in Chicago, Illinois, Harris rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most original voices in stand-up comedy. His genius lay in his ability to take ordinary, everyday moments and transform them into laugh-out-loud stories that felt both hilarious and deeply familiar. With razor-sharp timing, animated expressions, and an unmatched gift for storytelling, Robin could turn a simple observation into a full-blown experience that left audiences in tears of laughter. His signature bit, the BBS Kids routine, became the stuff of comedy legend. A fast-talking, character-driven masterpiece that perfectly captured his wit and cultural insight. On stage, Harris was raw, real, and magnetic. On screen, he brought the same authenticity to roles in films like Do the Right Thing and House Party, where his charisma lit up every scene he was in. Tragically, Robin Harris's life was cut short in 1990 at just 36 years old. Yet, even in his brief time, he influenced a generation of comedians, including Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, who admired his fearless honesty and his ability to find humor in real life. Harris proved that true comedy doesn't need glamour, just truth, rhythm, and heart. Though he's gone, his laughter still echoes through the halls of stand-up history, a timeless reminder that great humor never dies. Number 22. James Avery, the heart and soul of Uncle Phil. James Avery wasn't just an actor, he was a presence. Born on November 27, 1945, in Suffolk, Virginia, he grew up with a deep love for the arts and a drive to tell stories that mattered. That passion would eventually lead him to one of television's most iconic roles, Philip Banks, the firm but loving patriarch on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. As Uncle Phil, Avery delivered wisdom, humor, and heart in every episode, turning a sitcom character into a timeless symbol of strength, compassion, and fatherly love. For millions, he was the father figure they never had. But Avery's brilliance didn't stop at Fresh Prince. His career stretched across film, stage, and voice acting, where his deep, commanding voice became instantly recognizable. He brought characters to life in beloved animated series like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man. The animated series, proving his unmatched range and dedication to his craft. Every performance carried his signature blend of authority and empathy, grounding even the most fantastical roles in humanity. Beyond the screen, Avery lived a life of purpose. A U.S. Navy veteran and passionate advocate for the arts, he mentored young performers and supported community programs designed to uplift the next generation. When he passed away on December 31, 2013, at the age of 68, Hollywood didn't just lose a gifted actor. It lost a teacher, a leader, and a soul who believed in the power of storytelling to change lives. James Avery's legacy continues to resonate through every rerun, every quote, and every person inspired by his warmth and integrity. His performances remind us that true greatness comes not from fame, but from heart. And in that sense, Uncle Phil will always live on. Number 23. Tommy "Tiny" Lister Jr. was more than just a giant on screen. He was a larger-than-life personality who left an unforgettable mark on Hollywood. Born June 24, 1958, in Compton, California, Lister first gained attention in professional wrestling, where his intimidating physique and commanding presence set him apart. But it was his breakout role as Debo, the neighborhood bully in Friday, 1995, that made him a pop culture legend. Standing 6 feet 5 inches with a fierce glare and booming voice, Lister brought a mix of menace and dark humor that made audiences fear him and love him at the same time. A rare balance only he could pull off. Beyond Friday, Lister proved his versatility with memorable roles in The Fifth Element, The Dark Knight, and in Living Color, showing that his talent extended far beyond brute strength. He moved effortlessly between comedy, drama, and action, even lending his voice to animated projects and appearing in music videos, where his charisma lit up every frame. Off-screen, however, Tommy "Tiny" Lister was the opposite of his tough guy image. A kind, gentle soul known for his generosity, faith, and dedication to mentoring young people. He was passionate about fitness, spirituality, and inspiring others to overcome adversity, often calling himself a vessel for God's light. Tragically, Lister passed away on December 10, 2020, at the age of 62 from heart complications. His death was felt deeply across the entertainment world, but his spirit, bold, funny, and full of heart, continues to live on through his unforgettable performances and the countless lives he touched. Tommy "Tiny" Lister remains proof that even the toughest giants can have the biggest hearts. Number 24. Bill Nunn was more than an actor. He was a force of quiet brilliance who left an unforgettable mark on both film and television. Born on October 20th, 1953, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Nunn had a rare gift: the ability to communicate powerful emotion with subtlety and truth. His performances didn't shout, they resonated. He will forever be remembered as Radio Raheem in Spike Lee's groundbreaking 1989 film Do the Right Thing, a role that became a symbol of racial tension, humanity, and tragedy in modern cinema. Nunn's portrayal was so raw and deeply human that it transformed a simple character into an enduring cultural icon. That was Nunn's magic, his ability to give ordinary characters extraordinary depth. But his talent didn't stop there. From the gritty world of New Jack City to the heartwarming chaos of Sister Act, Nunn proved his range across drama, crime, and comedy. On television, he brought the same authenticity to shows like Law and Order and Homicide, Life on the Street, where his presence elevated every episode he appeared in. Colleagues described him as a disciplined craftsman, thoughtful, humble, and deeply committed to his art. He didn't need the spotlight to shine. His quiet intensity made every role feel real. Tragically, Bill Nunn passed away on September 24th, 2016, at just 62 years old. Yet his legacy lives on, in every line, every look, and every scene he graced. His work reminds us that true greatness isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's the actor who speaks softly that leaves the deepest echo. Bill Nunn, the man behind Radio Raheem, remains a testament to the soul of cinema. But the question lingers: did Hollywood ever truly give him the recognition he deserved?